Hey everyone, it's Joel here and
Nicole Jones-Qandah.
from World Partners, and we just want to express our thanks to all of you as pastors for participating in our pastor development retreats across the country. It's been really great to have conversation together. We want to recap it, but we just wanted to express our gratitude for your participation in the story and conversation.
It's been fantastic to hear about how God is moving in your context, how disciple making continues to be replicated in our churches, and how you've been participating in global mission. And we're looking forward to carrying on those conversations.
Just to recap a few things, one is that we entered into this spiritual exercise of reading out of Ephesians and thinking about ecclesia in the universal church to awaken us to what it's like to be equals with brothers and sisters from around the world, and even to see ourselves as those with lack in certain ways, that as God has put us together as a global church and a global family, that we have pieces that God wants to teach us. Wasn't it cool that Gavin Cunningham was able to be at some of our retreats across Alberta and BC, and he brought a word from India, an unexpected guest, but brought a blessing to us, and we were able to receive that in a posture of mutuality and love.
We hope that your continued reflection on what God was saying to you through that exercise contributes to the conversation around how we cultivate togetherness, how we collaborate with what God's doing around the world with the Global South Church, and how we can collaborate amongst one another and for you as churches to work together.
We also gave you some updates. We know that right now, as pastors, you're working with your church boards to get back to us in terms of some financial commitments. Some churches have found it helpful to reach out to Nicole and me to get some questions answered in terms of how funding works for World Partners, now that it's no longer just supporting, but includes still support for global workers and for projects. But what does it look like to then budget around other aspects of mission participation that flow from your church conversation? And so we want to be available to you. We gave the update of Nicole making a transition to become the Assistant Director of World Partners. And really, it's been a joy for me, especially across Western Canada, to pass the baton to Nicole, who will do primary work with our churches that are west of Ontario border. And so I'm thankful that she has had a chance to have some applause and quick affirmation of her role in this space. And we're looking forward to how God will use her in days to come.
It's been fantastic to be able to have conversations around how God has been moving within your church, moving within individuals. And we've appreciated your affirmation and your conversation with us around the language of learn, connect, and mobilize. And so as you continue to consider the packet and have conversations with your church boards and mission engaged leaders, we would love to be able to assist you and resource you in ways that are meaningful and contextual as you seek to learn with those within your church and learn yourself about how God might be calling you to participate in his mission, how to connect well with the partnerships that you already have and with new partnerships that may be on the horizon, and how we can mobilize ourselves, those that we are discipling, and more, to be able to participate with God in his mission around the world. That's happening everywhere, that we know is happening in your local church context, the communities you're engaging with, the region you find yourself in, and the world at large.
Many of our churches are picking up on pieces of Learn, Connect, Mobilize, and are saying we feel like we've got a handle on mobilizing, but it's learning with and having meaningful connections with our partners and our global workers, our missionaries around the world. We need help in that area. And so you may have those kinds of questions, and we're just encouraging you to reach out to us so that we can have an opportunity to not only hear your story, but perhaps we could assist or point you in the right direction and encourage you on. This is about God, who invites us all to participate in his mission, and every church giving voice to that and affirming that participation. It starts at a church level, so that what God is speaking to you about praying for the nations and building partnerships and sharing the love of Christ and the good news of the kingdom, living and proclaiming it, that we'll be able to see that rise right across the board in all of our churches. We're excited for what that holds for the future, and God bless you. Please get in touch. You have our emails and phone numbers on this video. We'd love for an opportunity to hear from you. We'd love to connect with you.
It's a privilege to participate with you in what God is doing with you and around the world. And so we look forward to having more of those conversations with you in the coming days.
We nailed it.
Was that helpful?
Yeah.
Did we get it?
Yeah.
Good.